Hello everybody, this is Starman and welcome back to Let's Play Tex Murphy Overseer. Well, last time you'll remember we investigated the lab of Bosworth Clark. Didn't find much apart from a little bit more information about the scope of whatever this Overlord project is. And then we finally got some information from Capricorn that led us to a company called STG, which led us to Gideon Enterprises. And we now have the address of the former president and current figurehead of the company, J. St. Gideon himself. And yes, that is distinguished actor Michael York playing him. So, let's go pay him a visit.
You actually met J. St. Gideon in person?
Yeah. Want my autograph?
Oh, what was he like? What about the mansion? Oh, I heard it was spectacular.
A little garish for my taste, but nice. The mansion, on the other hand...
Very funny.
Oh, hell, it's mist! Okay, he's got to be the bad guy. There's no way we'd be getting this type of music and this kind of sinister opening before meeting this guy if he weren't the main villain of the game. Seriously, you can't have evil Latin chanting for a nice character. He's got to be the bad guy, I'm telling you.
Little flat you've got here.
You must find it ostentatious. I bet I do as well. It's certainly too much home for only one person.
You don't live here alone, do you?
I'm afraid so. My fortune has provided me with a fully automated, self-sufficient existence. I suppose my disability has given me an aversion to reliance on others. I want for nothing. Except perhaps human companionship. And that only after my somewhat forced semi-retirement.
Well, don't you worry about your safety. I mean, given your condition.
Gideon Enterprises defines state-of-the-art with regard to security systems. I'm surrounded, perhaps imprisoned, by the very finest electronic moat. No, I don't worry about my safety, though I thank you for your concern. Now, to what do I owe this welcome visit?
I'm investigating the death of Carl Linsky. He was an employee in your corporation.
Oh, no, Gideon Enterprises is no longer mine, I'm afraid. I'm sure that Frank Shimming would be a better source of information than I.
I already talked with Frank Shimming. He was about as helpful as a DMV employee in the middle of his 2-week notice.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. I won't mince words. I don't like Shimming. My complete trust in him was repaid with his exploiting my lack of management acumen, then usurping my position as head of Gideon.
You're still president of the corporation.
Yes. I have no more real authority to run my company than the King of England has to run his country. I'm merely a figurehead, nothing more.
Why don't you just sack him, as the English say?
Even if I could, what would be the point, huh? My time is past. I'm as outdated as this antique. Such is the cutthroat nature of business. Though I dare say the world itself has become nothing more than a business run by a select few.
I'm not sure I agree, Mr. Gideon. I think there are a lot of people out there who want to make the world a better place.
Oh? And you, my fine friend, how do you You intend to make the world a better place.
I don't know. Keep an open mind, respect others, buy Girl Scout cookies.
You think this will make a difference?
I think if enough people care, it just might catch on.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I used to think like you at one time. But idealism costs nothing, and I lived on it for many years. But its taste is bittersweet. It's in large part the reason why I can no longer walk. You'd like to hear what happened, wouldn't you?
I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable.
Oh, I've been in this damn cage for more years than I care to remember. I've had to grow accustomed to it. It was 2013. I was in Geneva to attend a covert meeting of UN operatives. There were 14 of us, and at least one was a traitor, armed with an explosive device. I was the only survivor.
Did you ever find out who it was?
No. It could have been any one of a score of countries or organizations. Well, I don't suppose it matters anymore. It was the beginning of the end. There are no heroes anymore, only villains of varying degrees.
What about Capricorn? You support what they do, don't you?
Oh, Capricorn does what they do, but they're merely fighting the good fight. Oh, greed and corruption have the upper hand. When I was younger, I sincerely believed we could achieve a semblance of global order and harmony. That was only the foolish dream of a youthful idealist. Once I was crippled, I was no longer of use. No, I was turned loose into the world. A cruel and deadly steeplechase where survival was a matter of social Darwinism. I was lost. I believed that my handicap had denied me my destiny. Years and years passed before I realized that I still had much to offer. With little more than a plan, I laid the foundations of Gideon Enterprises. Among the mutant population, I found other social misfits whose skills and talents had been overshadowed by their physical abnormalities. Oh, those were difficult times. We were openly ridiculed. Finding investors and financing was an often humiliating series of rejections. How could someone like myself, a cripple, ever hope to accomplish such a venture? But eventually, we did succeed, becoming the wealthiest and most powerful corporation of its type in the world. I had recaptured the idealism of my youth, the belief that through sacrifice, commitment, and hard work, anything was possible. But then it happened again. In the blink of an eye, all those years of investment and careful nurturing were torn from me by thieves and liars masquerading as board members and stockholders. And now, towering over them all is Frank Shimming. His disregard for integrity is matched only by his worship of dividends and profit margins. So nothing has happened. I have come full circle. And once again, I'm unwanted, unneeded, and facing a purposeless existence. So you listen to me. If you insist on striding through life, arms laden with hope, you will only meet with one devastating disappointment after another. Oh, please. Please forgive me, Mr. Murphy. You must be a very busy man. I must apologize for monopolizing your time with my ramblings.
I don't mind.
Oh, it's good of you to indulge me. Just that I receive so few visitors these days. But we must return to your investigation. Please, tell me what I can do to assist you.
Bravo. Bravo. Yeah, he goes a little over the top sometimes, but damn if it wasn't appropriate to the character. And, yeah, you know, props to Aaron Connors for the writing on this, because, you know, there's a lot of foreshadowing of the man Tex became in all of this, and, you know, some of it has not been very subtle, but, yeah, the whole speech about losing your idealism, it has a lesson which Tex, for better or worse, has managed to follow somewhat, because drunkenness and, you know, everything else aside, Tex generally does try to do the right thing. Anyway, on to the questioning.
I only know, I should say knew, him by reputation. He was an outstanding neurologist in his time. I read about his suicide in the newspapers.
All right, let's go and ask about STG.
I'm afraid I haven't heard of it.
Okay.
I don't want you to pity me, Mr. Murphy. I have enough creature comforts to make life worth living.
Okay.
I'd rather talk about something more pleasant. Suffice to say that Mr. Shimming will not be receiving a Christmas card from me this year. I feel like a parent whose child has left the nest. I created Gideon Enterprises, nursed it, and raised it to adulthood. And now it's left me with an empty home and too many hours in the day. Mr. Valdez runs a chess shop called the Rank and File in the Old City. We play quite often over the Ethernet. Yes, he's one of the few worthy opponents I've found.
Randomly enough, he is the one who leads us in the right direction on this.
In chess terminology, a poisoned pawn is the bait in a trap. Whoever is going by that name probably considers him or herself a sacrificial lamb, so to speak. I know nothing about that.
Okay, go with the photo.
This is Karl Linsky? Well, I only knew him by name, and I didn't recognize the other man.
Liar!
I wish I could be of more assistance. No, I'm unfamiliar with the name. I am unacquainted with her. The Law and Order Party is merely a Machiavellian byproduct of our society's decay. Their goals are not altogether unworthy, but those ends do not justify their means. But unfortunately, they've struck a chord with the public. And with an appealing candidate like Robert Knott, they will surely gain a great deal of power. I sometimes feel Capricorn is the last bastion of sanity in the world. Their efforts are laudable, but futile. I wish I could be of more assistance. Rona Morgan was a beautiful, intelligent woman trapped in a deformed shell. She joined our engineering team early on and soon proved her immense value. She went into business for herself some time ago, with my blessing.
All right.
Unfortunately, my condition has required numerous treatments. The care I've received at North Hill, however, has been exceptional. Chess is my only diversion. Oh, if you care to play, I'd be glad to teach you a thing or two about the game.
Yeah, unfortunately, they did not put a chess sim into this game, which is weird considering all of the other stuff that they put into this in Mean Streets, because actually playing chess against some of the people in this who play it, it would be kind of amusing, at least for a guy like me who enjoys the occasional chess game.
I owe what quality of life I have to a variety of DHS medications. Without them, I probably would not be having this conversation. I'm unfamiliar with the name.
Okay, don't know Sylvia.
You remind me very much of myself when I was younger. I sincerely hope you'll keep in mind the things I've told you.
And yeah, that's it. And all we learned from all of this, apart from the speech about not being an idealist, is where to find this one particular Jorge Valdez who runs a chess shop.
The rank and file was right in the middle of the old city.
Wasn't this back when they still called it Freak Town?
Yeah, the Mutant League was in high gear at the time, and the whole mutant norm thing was just starting to heat up. I got more than a few nasty looks when I showed up at the chess shop. How's the game going?
Welcome to the rank and file. What can I do for you?
Well, let's see. Chess lunatic, patron saint, narrow things down. Let's narrow things down.
Hey, wait a second. You're not the Jorge Valdez, are you?
That's my name, though I'm sure there are one or two others in the world.
The boys from Brazil, bean-picking humor, play it straight.
Well, apparently, there's at least a dozen Jorge Valdezes in this city alone. There's talk of a conspiracy.
So I've got a common name. Why don't you tell me yours?
I spy, refer to a new friend, play it straight.
My name's Tex Murphy. I'm a private investigator.
Look, I don't want any trouble.
Let's see, keep it impersonal, I spy, refer to a new friend. Yeah, let's name drop.
I'm a friend of J. St. Gideon's.
Oh, if you're a friend of Mr. Gideon's, you're a friend of mine. How can I help you?
Easy enough. All right.
Nice guy. He used to come in here occasionally. I read in the paper that he killed himself. It's too bad.
All right. Oh, we didn't ask about Robert Knott. We just got that name, but with that.
Knott is the pretty facade that disguises the law and order party's war machine.
Ah, politically active, I see.
Mr. Gideon's been a friend of the mutants for years, unlike most people in his social strata. He's a great man. It makes me angry as hell to think what Shimming did to him.
All right.
Back when I was a programmer, I worked there for a couple of years, until shimming took over. Everything changed for the worse. It was like working under Stalin. Why are you asking about me? I'm just a source of information to someone like you.
Oh, now that's kind of accurate, but, you know, no need to be that mean about it.
Poisoned pawn is a chess term. It refers to an apparently unprotected pawn, whose capture leads to dire consequences. If I had to guess, I'd say the author of the anonymous letter felt like he was the first link in a dark chain.
You are one spooky dude.
I don't know anything about the letter, or why my name was mentioned in it.
Okay.
I recognize Linsky, of course, but I don't know the other person. Though I think I may have seen him with Frank Shimming years ago.
Suspicious.
I haven't heard anything about it.
Okay.
Don't know him. Don't know him. I have no idea who that is.
Okay.
You know what the Law and Order Party is? It's the Fourth Reich. They won't rest until every mutant is deported, imprisoned, or dead.
In that order.
Capricorn is about the last organization in the world that considers us mutants to be human beings. I think there's a battle brewing between them and the Law and Order Party. I haven't heard anything about it.
All right.
I have no idea who that is. Ah, the hospital to the rich and famous. I haven't been fortunate enough to be a patient there. Life is a chess game, and Law and Order has all the power pieces. Never heard the name before. You seem like an interesting guy. Makes me wish you were more of a chess player.
Okay, so another dead end, apparently. So, back to the office. Apparently somebody left a message for us. Or is trying to call us.
Tex Murphy here.
Are you investigating the death of Carl Linsky?
Well, it depends. Who's asking?
A friend. Just a friend.
You're not calling to see whether I need my carpets cleaned, are you?
No.
So what do you need?
The question is, what do you need?
Well, good home-cooked meal would be nice, but other than that, I need a lead.
A University of San Francisco professor, Val Davis, died in a speeder crash last week.
That's interesting, but it's not much of a lead, is it?
Davis was working on the STG project with Linsky.
Okay. Now you've got my attention.
There are answers to be found in Davis's laboratory on the USF campus, Building C. If you get there within the hour, the doors will be unlocked.
Okay, I'm on my way, but what am I looking for?
The chess move. I'll be watching. When you find it, I'll contact you again.
That was not the least bit creepy at all.
Intriguing. So who was the mysterious informant?
I had no idea at the time.
You're not going to tell me, are you?
I'll tell you this. I didn't waste any time getting over to the USF campus and into Val Davis's lab. Sure enough, it was unlocked, and I started looking around.
Yeah, and you'll remember from Mean Streets, this doctor was actually named Cal Davis, rather than Val Davis, trying to diversify the cast again.
Quite a few empty cages. Of course, I'd imagine this place has a pretty high turnover.
And if you remember this from Mean Streets as well...
When I looked in the cage, I saw an ape and he was holding a small box. It seemed like a good place to hide something, so I figured I needed to get it.
Well, that shouldn't have been too tough, seeing as how your thought processes aren't that far apart on the evolutionary scale.
What do you mean by that?
My point exactly, monkey boy.
Tarzan no like smart mouth woman. But yeah, remember those drugged bananas we just happened to make earlier?
Well, bedtime for Bonzo just might work, but I still need something to reach that metal box.
Something like, oh, that 10-foot pole leaning on the wall.
This must be an animal control device. Of course, we laymen call it a pole.
I seem to pick up a lot of pole in this game. Quit it. Quit it.
Hey, monkey, move.
Okay, so I didn't actually use this first.
Monkey, look what I got for you. Huh? Nice, huh? You want a banana, huh? Here you go. That's it. That's it. Go
How did he
on,
get the
monkey.
pill inside the banana without peeling it?
Good. It's good, isn't it? That's it. That's good. That's good. 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 Oh, is the monkey tired? Oh, look at the poor dumb monkey.
Coral, the 80th wonder of the world!
Okay, so now we have pass card A.
That's the exit. It's another computer that's hooked up to the security pass card network. For some reason, this microscope is hooked up to Val Davis's computer. I'll have to find her pass card and read her before I'll be able to use this microscope. I guess I'm supposed to notice this.
Well, let's see. That would be NAQ. Well, again, that is an anagram for queen. So we got our password, we got our card, but we still need the reader.
This must be where the lab animals earn their keep. How to train your weasel? Weasel training must be dangerous business. Curious Ralph undergoes chemo. Kids' books just aren't as sweet and innocent as they used to be. Now this is the kind of test I always did well on. Surgical tools always give me the creeps. Nothing more appetizing than a big barrel full of biological waste products. be? Raymond's long-lost brother. Standard lab cabinets. Standard lab cabinets. Standard lab cabinets. Standard lab cabinets. Standard lab cabinets.
Okay, nothing in the lost and
Standard
found.
lab cabinets.
And we can't select any of these drawers. And it looks like I don't actually get to keep Pepe.
I shudder to think what kind of experiments are done on these poor, helpless, stinky animals. I probably shouldn't mess around with these access panels. The animals don't look like they've eaten for a while.
And, yeah, a little sight gag here.
Yeah, quite a few empty cages. Of course, I'd imagine this place has a pretty high... Quite a few empty cages. Of course, I'd imagine this place has a pretty high turnover.
Okay, well, looks like there's nothing else for it but to go in here. But first, I'm going to go save the game because somehow it strikes me that going into a radiation chamber might be a bad idea.
As soon as I stepped into the radiation chamber, the door sealed behind me, and I immediately heard a somewhat disturbing computer message.
Radiation at level 1.
And that is not a Green Lantern battery.
Someone had taken a laser blade to the emergency override.
So it was a trap. Was it meant for you?
Well, it could have been. Or maybe Val Davis, but then she died before she had a chance to fall into it. Either way, I had to find a way to repair the circuit board before time ran out. Fortunately, I brought along that circuit conductor kit I found in Linsky's warehouse.
Radiation at level.
Yeah, unfortunately it won't just let us automatically launch into it. We have to get it out and use it.
Boy, this is bad. Someone slashed the connections. If I don't find a way to connect 2 horizontal terminals and 2 vertical terminals, I'm gonna get microwaved into an early grave.
And yeah, the tricksy part is that they don't tell you exactly how these connect. And that siren gets really annoying real quick.
Radiation at level 3. Danger. Radiation level moderate.
And yet you only have 4 bits to work with.
Radiation at level 4.
Okay, well that got 1 connected.
Radiation at level 5.
Okay, well that connects to that.
Radiation at level 6. Danger.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to make this one.
Lethal exposure.
Ah, heck, well, we were bound to die a stupid death eventually anyway.
Radiation at level 9.
Might as well just enjoy the countdown, and then I'll come back once I have this one solved.
Radiation at level 10.
Just kidding, okay? There was a way to do it. I just had to find out what it was.
And yeah, since this whole game is being told in flashback, anytime you can't solve a puzzle or get killed, you just get kicked back to the reload screen. So yeah, with that done, I'm going to go ahead and reload, and we will give that another try. But I'll go ahead and cut back once I have it almost finished. Fair enough? Okay, then. Okay, I think this will do it. All right.
This chair must have special attachments to fit the dogs and cats.
Yeah, that's unnerving. Anyway, now we've got a card reader.
Pass card reader's hooked up. Now I'll need to scan the pass card.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and... Queen.
A magnification of Val Davis's pass card appeared on screen. QXD7 was written in tiny characters on the card. It had to be the chess move the mysterious informant had told me to find.
And if we take a look at the other cards with a microscope, we'll see that card G has RXE7, and pass card E has RD1. Now, believe it or not, this is actually going to be really important later in the game. And we're going to have to come back here and look at all the cards as we find them in order to get this important information. The funny thing is, it's really easy to overlook this, and you can kind of guess around where you need this information later, but at that point it just seems like trial and error. So this is, in fact, you know, important puzzle. But let's head back to the office. And nothing from the mysterious informant.
My fax machine's brand new. Now if I could just get a fax from someone other than my mom.
Nothing on the chess moves. But we need to ask somebody about chess moves. Let's go talk to our new friend.
What brings you in? Can I interest you in a quick game?
Sorry, wrong gender. Hate to lose. Only something fun.
Well, only if you were a woman and wanted to play strip chess.
I have a wig.
It's a joke, right? How about I ask you some questions?
By all means.
I don't think you need the wig, dude. You have a fine, luxurious mane of curly hair. What, I can't admire that? I got the same hair. Alright, chess moves.
These are chess moves. But unless I see the match these moves were taken from, I can't tell you what they mean.
Well, that was less than helpful. Let's try. Let's go bother the billionaire again. Why not?
I'd hoped you'd come by again. No, please, thank you. I really must apologize for my inexcusably pedagogic display during your recent visit.
Pedagogic?
Hey, what you do in your personal life, that's none of my business.
What I mean to say is that I spent far too much time on my soapbox. You're quite a character. What can I do for you? While I don't know him personally, my instincts tell me that Mr. Knott is a man of integrity. But I've been wrong before.
And chess moves.
Well, these chess moves are curious and vaguely familiar. Or perhaps they were part of some fabled match I may have read about. I can't say for certain.
Okay, well, let's work our way down the list of contacts that we can pester on a regular basis. And let's check in on Sonny. We haven't seen him in a while.
Sonny's not in his room. Probably ran out of rot gut.
Okay. Wanda.
You're back again. What can I do for you this time?
Oh, what can't you do for me?
Robert Knott is running for governor under the Law and Order party banner. I checked him out personally and couldn't find anything to hold against him. If he belonged to another party, I'd probably vote for him.
All right.
I'll follow this up and see what I can find out.
Okay, well, that's something. I probably won't get anything out of Sylvia, but
How is everything?
always good to check in with the client. Oh yeah, we didn't check with her about the photo, did we?
This photo wasn't taken too long ago. That's John Klaus with my father. I don't know what that is.
Well, not surprising.
I don't know anything about it. Doesn't sound familiar. I doubt I know any more about it than you do. I know who he is, if that's what you're asking.
All right.
I know he's one of the candidates for governor, but that's about it. I don't know what that is.
Okay, well, what's the hope? Well, I wound up having a game crash at this point. Thankfully, the good news is that the GOG version of Overseer automatically saves your game if there's ever a sudden outage, and it'll try and continue right where you left off. In this case, I wound up jumping back to the office because I talked to everybody and didn't find anything useful, but then I forgot my own rule earlier about how you always come back to the office to check and see if you have messages or packages. Completely forgot to check the doorstep.
Looks like an old-fashioned telegram. We'd send one of these instead of a fax or an email.
Well, possibly an old-fashioned detective. Come see me ASAP. Have something for you. Info on Jim Slade. Sonny.
Sonny's telegram had mentioned someone named Slade. I had a hunch that it was the name of the man who'd killed Bosworth Clark, but I wouldn't know for certain until I talked to Sonny.
Come in.
Sonny, ¿qué pasa, hombre?
Hey, adelante.
Compadre. I didn't expect to see you looking so good.
Murphy, I've come face to face with my demon.
Slade. What happened?
In the depths of my despair, I had a vision of redemption. I realized I couldn't pass on without confronting what I feared most in life. Slade. I tracked him to his lodge. I broke in. I'm still a good detective.
So was Slade there?
No. Not at first.
So what happened?
I had to take something from him. Something important. Nothing could replace Maria. I found something, Murphy. I know it's important because it was hidden. Here.
God, you are hurt. I've got to get you to the hospital.
No, there's no need. I've had my last drink, amigo. Maybe not. Maybe there's time for one more.
No más.
Salud. No. Pour one for yourself.
I'm not really a drinker.
For old time.
All right. So what happened when Slade got back? Salud, hombre. At least he was able to die in peace.
I didn't know it was going to be such a sad story. Who killed Sonny? Was it Slade?
Must have been. I never did find out for sure. After Sonny's last drink, I took a look around his place, hoping to find something that would lead me to the man who'd killed him and Clark. On a scrap of paper by the phone, Sonny had scrawled the name Big Jim Slade.
Big Jim Slade. Big Jim, former tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, is outfitted with various whips, chains, and a sexual appetite that will knock your socks off. Big Jim has satisfied women throughout the world, and the capital of Nebraska is Lincoln.
And the words Big Surf Lodge, along with an address.
And that address for the Big Surf Lodge is where we will pick up next time. See you then.